You hear the name Harry Winston, and what comes to mind? Right, ultimate luxury. We're talking about those flawless, priceless gems you see on royalty and Hollywood's biggest stars. But you know, behind that legendary brand, there's the story of just one man. Okay, let's get into it.
So let me ask you this. What really makes a diamond priceless? Is it just how big it is, the way it sparkles? Or is there something else going on? That question, well, it's pretty much the key to the entire Harry Winston story. And trust me, the answer is way more interesting than you'd expect.
You see, for Harry Winston himself, the answer was crystal clear. A diamond's value? Oh, it was so much more than just, what it looked like. He saw its past, its future. He could literally see the story inside, just waiting to come out. And that obsession, it was with him right from the very beginning.
All right, let's rewind. Back to the beginning. Harry Winston, born in 1896. His dad was a jeweler, so yeah, he grew up around gems. But here's the thing. He had this special something. It was this built-in, almost supernatural knack for seeing incredible value where literally everyone else saw nothing.
And we're not talking about a talent that took years to develop. No, his genius showed up early. In fact, one of the most legendary stories in the entire jewelry world went down when he was just a boy. It's the perfect example of that raw talent he had. Okay, get this. Picture a 12-year-old kid. He's just wandering through a pawn shop, right? His eyes are scanning one of those trays full of junk jewelry, cheap, forgotten stuff, and then he spots it, a dull little green stone. To anybody else, it was worthless, but Winston, he had a feeling. And the payoff for that little hunch? Absolutely staggering. He paid a quarter, 25 cents. 2 days later, after a quick cleanup revealed it was a real 2-carat emerald, he sold it for $800. $800 as a 12-year-old. I mean, that's a profit of over 300,000%. If that's not a sign you've got a gift, I don't know what is.
And that incredible eye, that gut feeling for value, it never went away. It's what took him from spotting one little emerald in a junk tray to hunting down and acquiring some of the most famous, most important diamonds in all of history.
Let's talk big numbers for a second. $350 million. That's the estimated value of what is probably the most famous diamond on the planet, the Hope Diamond. And yep, Winston got his hands on it back in 1949, bringing its legendary and supposedly cursed story into his collection.
And we're not just talking about any old rock here. This thing is a massive 45.52-carat deep blue diamond. It was once owned by French royalty like King Louis XIV. But what's really amazing is what Winston did with it. He didn't just lock it away. He toured it around for everyone to see, and then he gave it away, donated it to the Smithsonian. A priceless piece of history, just as a gift to the world. Incredible.
And that legacy of snagging these legendary stones, it's still going strong. Just fast forward to 2018, the House of Harry Winston drops over $50 million on this absolutely insane gem. It set a new world record for the price per carat of a pink diamond. Just wow.
So, what makes this one so special? Well, for starters, its color is graded as vivid pink. That's literally the highest rating you can get. Plus, it's a Type 2A diamond. Now, what that means is that it's one of the most chemically pure, most transparent gems on the entire planet. It was so perfect, the company didn't even hesitate. They immediately renamed it the Winston Pink Legacy.
So Winston himself was all about collecting gems that belonged to actual kings and queens. But today, the brand has become the go-to for a whole different kind of royalty, Hollywood royalty. For decades, if you wanted to make a statement on the red carpet, you wore Harry Winston.
I mean, just look at the 2018 Oscars. Salma Hayek showed up wearing a set of Harry Winston jewels worth, get this, $4.2 million for one night. Can you imagine?
This is what modern glamour is all about. Those platinum chandelier earrings she wore, they alone had over 27 carats of diamonds, just cascading down with these perfect pear-shaped and round stones. I mean, that's the kind of jaw-dropping jewelry that creates those unforgettable red carpet moments.
But here's the thing about Winston. His genius wasn't just about finding the best stones. He was also a total revolutionary when it came to design. He completely changed how jewelry was even made. He had this idea that the metal, the setting, should basically disappear, so that all you see is the diamonds.
And his most famous move? The cluster setting. It was brilliant. He figured out that if you artfully arranged a bunch of smaller diamonds, all with different cuts, you could create the look of one massive, incredible stone.
This technique just unleashed so much more fire and sparkle. By letting the gems lead the design instead of the metal, he totally changed the game.
So when you take a step back and look at his life, at this massive brand he built, what's the real legacy here? It's got to be more than just a pile of expensive jewelry, right?
And it is. Ultimately, what Harry Winston got was that a gem's real power is in its story, in its journey. When he took stones like the Hope Diamond and didn't hide them away, but shared them with all of us, he wasn't just a jeweler anymore. He was a curator, a storyteller. He made sure these amazing pieces of history didn't just belong to the rich, but belonged to everyone.
Which, brings us right back to where we started. Harry Winston's entire life seems to prove that, yeah, carats and clarity matter, but the legends, the history, the journey a gem has been on, that's what makes it truly and forever priceless. What do you think?